This is Hino's Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. All right, there's news out there basically saying that Jarrett Hurd fired his trainer, Ernesto Rodriguez. I'm going to say that again. Jarrett Hurd fired his trainer, Ernesto Rodriguez. So if everything that's coming out is absolutely true, then I have a vehement problem. And I'm going to say that again. My problem vehemently is with Jarrett Hurd. Ernesto Rodriguez is not the fault here. The fault sometimes with fighters, when it comes to in relation between them and the trainer, at times it's the fighter themselves. You have to look at the product that Jarrett Hurd put in front of us versus J-Rock. Jarrett Hurd had the mindset that he was already overlooking J-Rock. Again, not taking nothing away from J-Rock. J-Rock went in there and did his thing. He was in that Ramadan mindset. You know what I'm saying? He was in that fasting mindset, because people have to understand, when you're in that mindset of fasting, you're at your most purest and your most properest levels. You know what I'm saying? In terms of being able to focus and concentrate. This is the beauty of fasting that folks need to do research on. So this is why J-Rock was focused, because he was in his most focused and most concentrated version of himself. Jarrett Hurd, on the other hand, was the complete opposite. He had a fight in his hometown. I've said this before. Some fighters and fighting in their hometown don't go hand in hand. Jarrett Hurd has not shown the propensity of being the most disciplined boxer. Those are facts, folks. You're in the hometown. You're not disciplined on top of that. And then you blow up extremely in weight. People talk about Earl the True Spence blowing up in weight. People talk about Tank Davis blowing up in weight. And these guys do have that issue. We're not going to gloss over that. But Jarrett Hurd is the worst of those three. He looked like he was damn near about 200 pounds when they first did their first press conference between him and J-Rock. Look at J-Rock right now, way after the fight. Does he look like he blew up insanely in weight? No. So how does that have anything to do with your trainer? See, some people sometimes they need to do some self-reflection, man, and look at the problem, which is themselves, man. I told you guys, self-deception is the worst form of deception because you're deceiving yourself. Let me say that again. Self-deception is the worst form of deception because you are deceiving yourself. And Jarrett Hurd is deceiving himself if he thinks that firing Ernesto Rodriguez is going to be the end all and the be all or the solution to his problem. Now, if he turns it around and gets a Derrick James types of trainer, okay, I can understand that, because now he's going to get a trainer that's going to push his fucking ass, or a Buddy McGirt or Floyd Mayweather Sr., you know what I'm saying, or a Bomac. Get somebody that's going to push your fucking ass, a savvy trainer, right? I would understand that decision. But again, the problem in itself, even if he has those trainers, because look at Jermell Charlo when he fought Tony Harrison, clearly was not focused, and he had Derrick James. You see the point that I'm trying to make here? A lot of times fighters have to go look at themselves and see what they are made of within themselves. It's a self-reflection that they have to do, because as human beings, we're faced with obstacles and challenges in life that forces us to have to do self-reflection from time to time. It's imperative that we do that. You guys know the motto. This is a motto that I've taken from Floyd Mayweather. Self-preservation is the law of the land. Let me say it again. Self-preservation is the law of the land. If you don't take care of yourself, who's going to take care of you? Let me say that one more time. If you don't take care of yourself, who is going to take care of you? So Jarrett Hurd, this is not an Ernesto Rodriguez problem, because you can go from trainer to trainer to trainer. But if you are lacking the discipline, if you are sitting here and blowing up insanely in between fights, if you are sitting here and making this thing seem like it's a party ride when you should be dedicated to your craft and disciplined to the sport, and you're thinking a trainer is going to turn that around, but you don't have the mindset of a fighter within yourself, then it doesn't matter which trainer you change to. You may win, your next few fights and say, oh, credit to the trainer. But if you keep the same bad habits in between fights, guess what, Jarrett Hurd? You will lose again. It's like the great Andre Ward said, man. He said that fighters have to behave the right way inside and outside the ring. It's a lifestyle, man. It's a habit. People sit here and say that Floyd Mayweather ruined the sport of boxing. Listen, man, Floyd Mayweather didn't ruin shit. Anyone that sits here and tell you that, they don't know shit about boxing. Now, granted, Floyd Mayweather has his extravagance and he has his personal demons that he's dealing with. But what human being doesn't have that? What human being does not have their own vices that they're dealing with, folks? Come on, man. Stop being brain full of mush. Stop being brainwashed and stop being dodo heads. Are we going to sit here and now denigrate Floyd Mayweather because his lifestyle is a bit braggadocious? His lifestyle is what it is. It just tells me that he's a flawed individual in life, just like all of us are. We all are flawed individuals. So who the hell are we to be casting a stone at this man? This is the stuff that I'm talking about here, man. Folks want to be dodo heads. They want to be brain full of mush and they want to be brainwashed followers. But that's why y'all need He Knows His Sport. To not only bring you that heat and that fire, but to keep you motherfuckers on a even keel, to keep you on the right path, to keep you clear-headed. Because clearly you guys aren't. So we're going to blame this guy because he paid his dues, mind you, to get to the position that he got to. See, a lot of these fighters nowadays, they didn't earn that right. If you go and look at the Yaqui Lopez's of the world, you didn't hear what he said? There's only one Mayweather, meaning he respects Floyd Mayweather. See, you hear a lot of the legends, they say that there's only one Mayweather. You understand why they keep saying that? All of them, universally. Because they understood that before Floyd Mayweather got to the level that he got, he paid his dues. But this is the problem with fighters like Jarrett Hurd. They haven't paid their dues. They haven't put in nowhere near. They haven't even put in 25% of the body of work that a Floyd Mayweather has. But then they want to act like they've arrived because they have multiple belts. It doesn't work like that in boxing, man. He started feeling himself right after the Erislandy Lara fight. That had nothing to do with Ernesto Rodriguez. That had everything to do with him. Because when you become a champion as a fighter, that's the hardest thing for you to have. And that's it's the hardest thing for you to obtain. And guess what? It's even harder for you to maintain. Oof. I just said a poetry moment. Let me rewind that back again because I need to let this marinate in the brain cells. Being a champion is a hard thing to obtain, but it's a harder thing to maintain. You understand? You want to know why? Because you have to show people that you winning wasn't what we call an aberration. This is why I'm looking at Andy Ruiz Jr. and I'm testing his temperature to see what he's going to be made of. Jarrett Hurd showed us what his temperature was made of as a champion. And you know what he showed us? That he's weak-minded. So we got to call a spade, man. We got to keep that thing a buck. We got to keep it 100. And we got to keep that thing real. And the truth of the fact of the matter is Jarrett Hurd does not have the makeup of a disciplined fighter. Is he a fighter? Yes. Is he a good fighter? He has the potential to be one. But Jarrett Hurd, man, if he focuses to his craft and he's dedicated, the man shows you that the potential is there. But that's on him, man. That has nothing to do with Ernesto Rodriguez. Because he won so many fights with Ernesto Rodriguez, right? So all of a sudden, because you lost to J-Rock, now Ernesto Rodriguez is the problem. But you beat an opponent that was harder than J-Rock in Erislandy Lara. He was a more experienced and a more savvy veteran. How did you win that fight? And don't chalk it up to, Erislandy Lara was old and J-Rock was hungry. Yeah, those could have been contributing factors. But you see the point that I'm trying to make here, folks? I don't want to hear this nonsense about Ernesto Rodriguez was the problem. The problem is the fighter. And sometimes these fighters need to come to this acknowledgement that they are the fucking issue, man. Not the trainer. Because it doesn't matter how many trainers you switch. We've seen this happen with a lot of fighters. If you still have bad habits outside of the ring, it will eventually manifest itself. So I don't understand this firing. I really don't. Maybe because Ernesto got in his shit and was like, look, man, you need to cut all of the bullshit out and cut all of the nonsense that you're doing outside of the sport that has nothing to do with the sport. But it looks like Ernesto Hernandez had to be the fall guy. Because again, this is Jarrett Hurd not taking ownership. You see, I was on his side, was basically saying that come in the rematch, he's going to turn things around. You know what I'm saying? Because the way he was talking, he didn't sound like he was defeated. But this move right here basically rescinded that. I'm going to say that again. This move right here rescinded that. Because it shows me that as a fighter, you're not taking ownership for the fact that you had the lackluster performance. It's a thing of self-reflection. It's a thing of looking in the mirror and knowing you didn't fight your best, man. This is why I respect AJ Humble, formerly known as AJ Devo. Because at least he had the gall and the umption out of his own mouth to sit there and say, hey, I didn't perform my best. The better man won. He defeated me. He ate his damn crow in the defeat against Andy Ruiz Jr. So Jarrett Hurd, you need to do the same shit, man. The problem is not Ernesto Rodriguez because you were undefeated. You won so many big fights with him. But then you lost that fight against J-Rock. You know why? Because the mindset was to look past J-Rock and to look at Jermell Charlo. That's who you was looking at. You've been making that public for the last year and a half. So how are we going to sit here and put this on Ernesto Rodriguez? This is nonsense, folks. And folks need to wake up and smell the coffee and see the bullshit for what it is. Jarrett Hurd, you get the biggest higgity fucking hush of the damn day. This is He Knows His Sport. Checking out.